A life cut short. Introducing Luis Adame-Luevanos. Luis was a young man whose life was filled with dreams and aspirations. He was someone who brought joy and laughter to those around him, a beacon of hope and positivity in his community. Luis Adame-Luevanos, a young man with dreams. He had a smile that could light up a room and a heart full of kindness. His friends and family remember him as someone who was always there to lend a helping hand, no matter the situation. A life full of promise. He was a son, a brother, a friend. Luis was deeply loved by his family, and cherished by his friends. He was the kind of person who made everyone feel special and valued. His presence was a source of comfort and joy to those who knew him. On a cold night in December 2024, his life was tragically cut short. The night was like any other, cold and quiet, but it would soon become a night that his family and friends would never forget. A senseless act of violence at a Denver 7-Eleven store. Luis was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time. The incident left the community in shock and disbelief, struggling to comprehend the loss of such a vibrant young life. Luis became another statistic, another victim of a homicide that shook the community to its core. The outpouring of grief and support from the community was immense, as people came together to mourn the loss of a young man who had touched so many lives. This is his story. Luis was a hard-working young man. He took pride in his work and was always striving to do his best. Whether he was stocking shelves or helping customers, he did everything with a smile and a positive attitude. He was known for his kindness and infectious laugh. His laughter was contagious and his kindness knew no bounds. He had a way of making people feel at ease and bringing joy to even the most mundane moments. He had his whole life ahead of him. He had dreams of starting his own business, of making a better life for himself and his family. Luis was ambitious and determined, always looking for ways to improve and grow, of making a better life for himself and his family. He often talked about his plans and dreams with his family, sharing his vision for the future and the steps he would take to achieve his goals. But fate had other plans. On December 17, 2024, a day that started like any other ended in tragedy. The news of his passing spread quickly, leaving a trail of heartbreak and sorrow in its wake. Luis's life was cut tragically short. The community held vigils and memorials, lighting candles and laying flowers in his memory. It was a time of collective mourning as everyone grappled with the senseless loss. He became another victim of the city's relentless violence. His story is a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the impact of violence on our communities. Luis Adame-Luevanos will always be remembered for the light he brought into the world, a light that was extinguished far too soon. The night was cold. A light snow fell on the city. Luis stopped by a 7-Eleven on his way home from work. He wanted to pick up a few things. Milk, bread, maybe a soda, an ordinary errand. A mundane stop. He had no idea it would be his last. Inside the store, the mood was tense. An argument broke out, voices were raised. The details are still unclear. What we do know is that the altercation escalated quickly. It spilled out into the parking lot, and then, the sound of gunfire shattered the night. The sirens wailed, red and blue lights flashed in the falling snow. Police arrived to find a chaotic scene. A young man lay dead on the cold pavement. Witnesses were in shock. The investigation began immediately. Detectives worked tirelessly, interviewing witnesses, gathering evidence. But the trail ran cold. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. The case went cold. The Denver Police Department, despite their best efforts, were unable to make an arrest. The lack of leads was frustrating. The community was on edge. Who killed Luis Adame-Luevanos, and why? The community was devastated by Luis's death. Vigils were held, candles were lit. People shared their memories of a young man taken too soon. They demanded justice for Luis. They wanted answers. Flyers with Luis's picture were posted all over the city. A reward was offered for information leading to the arrest and conviction of his killer. The community refused to let his memory fade. They knew that someone, somewhere, held the key to solving this case. Section 5. Whispers in the Shadows. Theories and speculation. In the absence of concrete answers, theories and speculation filled the void. The community was left grappling with questions that seemed to have no answers. Conversations in hushed tones became the norm as people tried to piece together the puzzle of what had happened to Luis. Was it a random act of violence? Was Luis targeted? These questions echoed through the streets, in homes, and in the hearts of those who knew him. The uncertainty was a heavy burden, and everyone had their own theory. Was it a case of mistaken identity? Some believed that Luis had simply been in the wrong place at the wrong time. Others thought there might be more to the story, something hidden beneath the surface that they couldn't quite grasp. The rumors swirled through the community, each one adding to the pain and uncertainty. At vigils and community meetings, people shared their fears and their hopes for answers. The sense of loss was palpable, and the need for closure was overwhelming. Some whispered that Luis had been caught in the crossfire of a gang dispute. The presence of gang graffiti in the area only fueled these suspicions. The idea that such violence could touch their lives was a terrifying thought for many. Others believed it was a robbery gone wrong. The broken windows and signs of struggle seemed to support this theory. But without concrete evidence, it was impossible to know for sure. But without evidence, these theories remained just that, theories. The truth remained elusive. Detectives pored over case files looking for any clue that might lead them to the answers. The lack of progress was frustrating for everyone involved. The mystery of Luis's death continued to haunt the city. As the days turned into weeks, and the weeks into months, the community held on to hope that one day, the truth would come to light. Until then, the whispers in the shadows would persist, a constant reminder of the unanswered questions that lingered in the air. Section 6. A Family's Plea. The Unanswered Questions. Luis's family was left to grieve. They were left with unanswered questions. They couldn't understand why this had happened. Who would take the life of their beloved Luis? They pleaded with the public for help. They shared stories of Luis's kindness, his humor, his love for life. They hoped that someone, somewhere, would hear their pleas and come forward with information. They deserved justice. They deserved closure. They deserved to know why their son was taken from them. Section 7. Breaking the silence, a call to action. Someone out there knows something. Someone saw something that night at the 7-Eleven. A detail, no matter how small, could be the key to solving this case. We need your help to bring Luis's killer to justice. If you have any information, please come forward. Contact the Denver Police Department. Your anonymity will be protected. No piece of information is too insignificant. Help us bring closure to Luis's family. Help us bring his killer to justice. Section 8. The Long Road to Healing, Supporting Luis's Family. The Adame-Luevanos family needs our support. They are facing unimaginable grief and loss. We can offer them comfort and support during this difficult time. Let them know that they are not alone. We can contribute to the fund established to help cover the funeral expenses and other costs. We can offer our condolences. We can keep Luis's memory alive. Small acts of kindness can make a world of difference. Section 9. Every life matters, justice for all. In the wake of tragedy, communities often come together to mourn, to remember, and to seek justice. This is a story of one such community, united by grief but also by a shared determination to make a difference. Luis Adame-Luevanos' death is a stark reminder that violence can touch anyone, anywhere, at any time. His loss has left a void in the hearts of his family and friends, but it has also ignited a spark of resilience and solidarity within the community. It's a reminder that we must work together to create a safer community for all. Neighborhood watch meetings and community organizing events have become more frequent, as people from all walks of life come together to discuss solutions and take action. We cannot allow fear and silence to prevail. Protests against violence and rallies led by community leaders have become a common sight, as the collective voice grows louder and more insistent. We must speak up for those who no longer have a voice. The messages on the memorial wall and the signs held high at rallies are a testament to the community's unwavering commitment to justice. We must demand justice for all victims of violence. The courtroom becomes a battleground for truth, and the scales of justice are a symbol of the community's hope for a fair outcome. We must work together to create a future where tragedies like this no longer happen. Every life matters. Community members plant trees in memory of those lost, and children play safely in parks, a vision of the future we strive to achieve. Every voice deserves to be heard. Open microphones at community events allow for heartfelt speeches, and walls filled with messages show the depth of the community's feelings and their desire for change. Let's work together to make our community a safer place for everyone. Through community cleanups, handshakes, and smiles, we build a stronger, more united community. Together we can ensure that every life is valued and every voice is heard.